This is from that, I don't know, Duchess channel. I don't even know if that's how you say it. This kind of drives me crazy, this particular map. Hold on. What's concerning me is these earthquakes and the what's on the land there and what's underneath. What's underneath? We have a lot of radiation, a lot of nuclear power plants. These are right near nuclear power plants. That's highly concerning. Everybody should be fucking concerned. I don't know why, but well, I do. I was just drawn to it by natural instincts and just things I pay attention to. Yesterday, I'm like, where? I wanted to see a map of where all these power plants were placed around the world. I think these power plants hold a lot more than most realize. Most of you would be in so much denial, you're just not even going to understand anything I'm saying. And then it's going to be a certain amount of you to get exactly what I'm saying. These things hold something very big. These are all power plants. We have all the East Coast. The East Coast is littered with nuclear power plants. West Coast, what are they holding? See, when you understand about the supernatural world and things that exist that you think don't, and you have to come up with ways to contain things in where you're in a different world, this thing is from a different world or made of something different, you have to figure out how to contain it. Nuclear power plant. Same with using mercury. You know, in ancient times, if some being was very, 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 very naughty, like really bad, they would be either buried like under Anubis, they would be put into like a prison in the afterlife, but they used mercury to hold this being down until somebody comes along and opens it up back up. This concerns me. This concerns me not just because of the obvious, but this concerns me because all these places have a nuclear power plant. And that would be like a sun exploding. For real. I did a whole video last year on the spring about this whole area with Ohio, with New York, Maryland, the whole like East Coast, that clump. There's a pyramid there. And I sense it has to do with these X flares. These pyramids are being hit. Whether you can see it or not, it doesn't matter. This energy is hitting these pyramids and changing things here. There are really large things under the ground. Very large. There's way more than, you know, when you look around and if you think that this is all it in the world, you're going to be in for a really big rude awakening. That's why it's written that men's hearts will fail them, because you're not going to be ready for what you're about to see. And this is highly concerning because all these areas legit have a nuclear power plant to them. It's ridiculous how many we have here on the East Coast. You know, in each spot in the West Coast, Japan already went through that. Isn't that interesting how they show you Godzilla? For those who watch that, what was underneath that nuclear power plant? The big freaking weirdo moth. You don't think they're not doing shit like that? You're crazy. Go back to sleep. You're not going to get what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. There's things under here that they needed a nuclear power plant to keep, I don't know, at bay, imprisoned, or whatever. Highly concerned. Never mind the radiation levels. I think that they were doing more over Chernobyl, because I keep coming back to Chernobyl. My guides keep bringing me back there to something more. Of course, the government's going to hide it because they're not going to tell us anything. They've been lying to us the whole freaking time. And you're in la la land if you believe anything a president is telling you on television. That dude should be retired. He should be in a nursing home, for God's sakes. You know, like, and this isn't personal. This is like, I can't believe people are still following this false narrative of these people don't even, these people have bigger people above them that are that they're puppeteers. You know, they're just a little puppet. This is concerning me though. This is like I'm being guided to pay attention, and I'm like nobody. You know what I mean? And I'm like, whoa, these are all nuclear reactors, and there's earthquakes, and there are dragons here. You live on a freaking dragon, so there are dragons here. There's a Lemurian dragon, the Atlantis dragon. The Atlantis is over here on the east coast, and Lemuria is west coast, and that was a land that did exist, and these lands are converging. We're going to be seeing more and more and more things that you didn't even know were there, and they're rising up. The return of Atlantis, that's happening. That's why all the water's moving. That has to do with Atlantis. It has to do with Thoth, the halls of Amenti. We are in the halls of Amenti, by the way, having this experience here. But this thing's under here. They have things harnessed that are probably so freaking huge. That's why people don't believe it. They'd rather believe the lie. Well, I'm not here lying to you, and I'm not going to lie. It's pointless, it's futile, and people get hurt with lies. All these areas are nuclear reactors. I don't know this guy. He pops up in my feed sometimes. I don't really watch his stuff, no offense. Nothing personal, just in this, because this map drives me crazy a little bit with all these circles. And I mean, it's clever, but it kind of drives me crazy, so I don't watch it. But all these places is a nuclear reactor, man. That's serious. I mean, we are a nucleus. We're on a dormant star. Volcanoes are erupting. Volcanoes would be plasma like a sun. And then let's add these things to it. That is a recipe for freaking disaster. And you are going to see huge ass ships here because they're concerned. These interstellar beings are highly concerned. They're going to be, because this puts a rip and tear in the entire universe, not just this world. The entire universe. So I don't know, whatever, that's what all this Eisenhower stuff was about. We got nuclear power instead of spirituality. There was a choice with Eisenhower. He chose the battle. There was an opportunity for the humanity to rise up in spirituality and to live in a more harmonious with Mother Earth and all this nuclear crap. They chose the nuclear stuff, and then they started thinking they were smarter than dealing with things that were way bigger than them. You know, Bob Lazar level. Bob Lazar. Yes. My father worked with Bob Lazar. He is telling the truth. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because this is how you should be concerned. Everybody should be concerned with this nuclear power plants and these earthquakes. They can't contain this stuff. They don't know what they're doing. Chernobyl was a perfect example of that. And my guides keep bringing me back to Chernobyl over and over again. That was all experimental stuff they were doing over there. All of it. And all of them are on the water. Keep it cool, the cooling plant, the cooling waters. Because they're harnessing and containing something very large in it. Very large.